guys, it's Jessie V. I am realizing that this shirt really clashes with my background. Let me just check if there's lipstick in my teeth, because every time I film, there's lipstick in my teeth. Oh, is that a booger? Oh my god. I'm so sorry, I'm disgusting. But yeah, this shirt reminded me of like kid shows, because today we're talking about kid shows that got canceled or banned, if you want to say. Shows that were aired and had to be taken down and removed because they disturbed people. And these shows that I'm going to be talking about are shows that you know and love and probably watched when you were younger or still watch. So get ready. And yeah, I just thought this shirt looks like, I don't know, it reminds me of like something the guy from Blue's Clues would wear. Oh no, he only wears green, doesn't he? Yeah, he only wears green. Too bad for him. Yeah, I don't know, this shirt, like, the reason why I got it was because it just screamed like 80s at me. Like, I feel like this shirt, like, tucked into some like mom jeans would be so like aesthetically pleasing. Aesthetically pleasing. I can't speak today. Or I feel like a camp counselor or something.
Okay, everybody get in a circle. Okay, now tell me your name, and then tell me what rhymes with your name, and then tell me your favorite place to go eat hot dogs, okay?
Favorite place to go eat hot dogs, wow. But like, you know when they ask you like those silly questions that have nothing to do with camp, you know?
Tell me like your favorite thing a fish eats.
I know it's to just like make everyone more comfortable with each other and like to make friends and like introduce yourself, but like I hated that part of camp. I don't know, I'm just channeling like children when I wear this. I'm Jessie V and you're watching Disney Channel. Anyways, I'm so hyper. Okay, so let's start with the first episode of a show that was banned. And that episode comes from the show Sesame Street. Why is there a guy parked outside of my driveway over there looking at me? I swear, people just pull up in my driveway and sit there for like 5 minutes and drive away. Should I be concerned or? Anyways though, this episode is from Sesame Street, and the reason why it was taken down was because they decided to put the Wicked Witch of the West into this episode, which really scared children. And if you guys remember, I think I did a video on Sesame Street about a year and a half ago, and I did mention this episode. So this is kind of like deja vu for you, but we're gonna bring it up again. So the Wicked Witch of the West, if you guys didn't know, she is from The Wizard of Oz, and when that movie came out, she really did scare a lot of children. And what's so bizarre is that Sesame Street, they're supposed to be catering to like what, toddlers? Why would they put the Wicked Witch of the West in a show for toddlers? That just, are you dumb? That actually hurt my head. So this episode came out in 1976, and the actress Margaret Hamilton took on her role from the movie and was in Sesame Street. So I guess that's the original actress of the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't really know, I'm assuming so. So basically the premise of this banned episode is that the Wicked Witch of the West is driving. She's flying her broom over Sesame Street and accidentally drops it into Sesame Street. So the whole entire episode is her looking around Sesame Street for her broom. So she's like,
do you have it? Do you have it? Is it in there? Where's my broom?
And she's all like freaked out looking for her broom. And she even threatens to turn Big Bird into a feather duster at one point. So I think kids were just really disturbed at the fact that she was walking around threatening their favorite characters from the show. Sesame Street received a flood of negative feedback from parents who said that their children were afraid and didn't want to watch the show anymore. And it says in quotations, the threat of the witch's power remains in the children's eyes. What does that even mean? I don't even know. The episode was pulled from the airwaves and never aired again. What sucks about me doing this video is that because these episodes were pulled, I can't find a lot of footage or screenshots to show you. I may have like 1 or 2 screenshots from each pulled episode, because obviously when they pull an episode of a show, they don't want any evidence of it anywhere anymore. You know what I mean? But anyways, that was the Sesame Street episode that was just gone. The next one we're gonna talk about is Peppa Pig, which that's a kid's show that I didn't think would ever have a pulled episode, because aren't they like G-rated? Like, aren't they like the best kid's show in the world? I don't even know, guys. Peppa Pig came out when I was like a teenager, so obviously I never watched it. Oh wait, 2004? Peppa Pig has been around that long? Why don't I remember this? I thought it came out when I was in high school, but it says that the episode they took down was an episode called Mr. Skinny Legs, which aired in 2004. Okay. It says, sometimes a well-intended message can lead to frightful results, depending on where you live. So this one's a very interesting one because this being aired anywhere in the world probably would have been fine, but when it was aired in Australia, that's when it was cancelled. So this episode that was named Mr. Skinny Legs was trying to teach kids that while spiders may look scary, they can't really hurt you. So the whole premise of this episode was supposed to be good. It was supposed to say, kids, spiders, you shouldn't be afraid of them. They're just small spiders. They're little creatures that won't harm you. At the beginning of the episode, Peppa is afraid of the spider, but by the end of the episode, she befriends the spider and invites him as a guest to her tea party. So at the very end, it's just showing kids like, hey, if you treat spiders nicely, they're not gonna hurt you, just leave them be. The episode's message was fine and dandy in Britain, but not so much in Australia, home to some of the most venomous spiders in the world, like the redback spider, whose bites are intensely painful and have historically been linked with deaths. So basically, Australian broadcasters considered the episode unsuitable to be aired there because you don't want to be teaching kids like, hey, that spider over there, go play with it. You know what I mean? Especially if there are a ton of venomous spiders in Australia. Probably not the best idea, and I do kind of understand why they chose to take this down because you don't want to be a mom walking in on your kid like holding up a spider that has these big fang things coming out. Wait, they wouldn't be coming out of their eyes. Like, why am I putting them here? Like, fangs come out of here. Anyways though, let's move on. The next episode that was taken down was one from Pokemon, and this episode people call it the Pokemon Flashing. That's not the original name of the episode, but that's just what people like, the Pokemon Flashing, okay? This infamous Pokemon episode all started when Ash was forced to travel inside the depths of one of his own Pokeballs, which is a really cool concept. Like, don't you ever wonder what it looks like inside of a Pokeball? Because I have always wanted to see inside there. So in this episode, Ash apparently actually travels into his Pokeball. When Pikachu used lightning to detonate incoming missiles, he saved the day. But for kids watching the show, things didn't go so smoothly. The flashing red and blue explosion sent almost 700 Japanese children into bouts of dizziness, headaches, blurred vision, or in some cases, seizures. So this episode made headlines around the world and didn't just get the episode banned, but the entire show had to go on a 4-month break. This is insane to me. I don't remember ever hearing about this, but the fact that that many children were rushed to hospital is insane. Like, how intense was the flashing? Like, it must have been like, how do you make that many children ill? That is insane to me. Anyways though, let's move on. If you guys remember that happening and that whole controversy, please let me know because that's not in my memory at all. Okay, the next show that had a banned episode was Dexter's Laboratory, and this episode specifically was called Rude Removal. So this one actually says the episode was produced, but it was never aired. So I probably can't find any picture of this because it was only produced and it wasn't allowed to be put on TV. It says in the episode, Dexter builds a machine known as the Rude Removal System, a machine capable of removing the rudeness from his sister Dee Dee. Oh man, that sounds funny though. But then Dee Dee interferes and both siblings get caught in the machine. The Rude Removal System splits the two up into a sweet and polite pair and then a very rude pair. The rude pair are destructive and they swear like sailors. The vulgar language is bleeped out, but the context makes it very easy for viewers to know exactly what they're saying. So Cartoon Network banned the episode from ever airing. Oh my gosh, but sometimes it's shown at animation festivals. So occasionally this episode is shown at like big events and stuff, but it was never shown on TV because of the swearing. So even though it was beeped out, I guess parents of kids watching this show like wouldn't have wanted that. I don't know, that's interesting. Okay, we have two more. The next show that had a banned episode, I'm honestly not very surprised about. It's the Ren and Stimpy show, and it's the episode called Man's Best Friend. I always found this show to be very, very weird anyway. This show was already controversial for its dark humor, adult jokes, and violence, among other things. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't ever think this show was meant for like little kids because of its humor. It says one episode in particular may have gone over the top, at least according to Nickelodeon. Things in the episode called Man's Best Friends were going pretty smoothly until an unusually violent violent scene that consisted of Ren beating up one of the pair's new owners with an oar, like an oar from a boat. The episode never aired due to Nickelodeon pulling the plug on it. That is so bizarre. So the episode was going totally fine, and then randomly Ren decides to take an oar from a boat and just start smacking this person with it. Like that is some violent stuff right there. And the last one we're gonna talk about is an episode from Betty Boop, and it was called Laughter is Contagious. So I don't know about you guys, but I grew up watching Betty Boop, and I know Betty Boop aired like, oh my gosh, when was it even? 40s, 50s, 60s? A long time ago. Maybe even before then, like 30s? I'm gonna have to look up like when Betty Boop first came out, but when I was a kid, we had like VHS movies of all of the Betty Boop episodes, so I watched those all the time with my sister, and like looking back, there were a lot of episodes that were interesting to say the least. If you've seen Betty Boop, you know what I mean. It's not really meant for little kids. So let's talk about this episode. Betty discovers that her creepy clown friend named Coco has a bad toothache. Instead of taking Coco to a certified dentist, Betty decides that she is better suited for the job. So she doesn't take him to an actual dentist. She's like, no, I'm gonna deal with your tooth, okay? In a scene like something you would see in a horror movie, Betty takes some pliers and continuously yanks on Coco's tooth with zero success. So she's trying to pull out his tooth with pliers. With Coco writhing in pain, Betty decides that laughing gas would be the best medicine for him. Because as you guys know, if you go to like get teeth taken out, they usually give you laughing gas. But she ends up using too much, which causes the gas to spill out into an entire town, causing people and even inanimate objects to laugh uncontrollably. The cartoon was banned because too much laughing gas was apparently just not a good thing to be showing to children, so that was pulled. But yeah, those were all of the ones that I could find. Obviously, there are a ton of episodes from TV shows that have been pulled, and a lot of them I can't discuss on this channel because they're just too much, you know what I mean? So if you want to go do your own research on that, you could definitely find a lot more, but on this channel I can't go into a lot of the things that were banned. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!